Hello gamers, Barmy here with another one button macro. This time we're doing the Hunter class, and because I've been asked so many times for Hunter macros, I thought this time I'd give you a little extra. In this video, I'm going to show you my brand new one button macro that works for both survival and beast mastery hunters. Yes, it's one macro and it can be used for both specs, so you're getting 2 for 1 this time. As always, we're going to be using the GSE add-on to make all of this possible, so if you're new to GSE, then check out my YouTube channel and my Discord server, where you can find lots of information to help you out. All the links are in the description below, so I suggest you have a good look-see through it and find out what you need. Stay till the end of the video and I'll explain exactly how to get hold of all of my stuff, including macros, weak auras and UI templates. Let's start with the Survival Hunter. At this point in the expansion, Survival is by far the best spec for pure DPS output, so if you want to raid and you're looking for big numbers, then this is what you should be going for. These are the talents I'm rolling, and there's no real wiggle room, so you should probably just go with this yourself. These are the glyphs, and all of the prime glyphs are pretty much essential, especially Arcane Shot, as the set bonus of the new tier set is really going to allow for lots of Arcane Shot pumping. To make Reforging easier, I use the Reforge Lite add-on. It's super simple to use and it'll open automatically when you visit the NPC. Just select Survival, the difficulty of the content you're playing, and then click Calculate. Then click Show, and finally Reforge, and it'll do everything for you. Because I didn't want this macro to cause our hunters to be ninja pulling everything and causing problems, I intentionally designed it only to cast Menpet when we're out of combat. As you can see here, I'm spamming the macro, but I'm not attacking the mobs, I'm just casting Menpet over again. To enter combat, I've written a standard macro that looks like this. Now when out of combat, the first press of the macro will apply Hunter's Mark to the target and send our pet in to attack. And I use this weak aura to alert me if Hunter's Mark isn't active on the target. The second press of the macro will cast Explosive Shot as long as we're not yet in combat. It's important to get this off on the opener, so make sure that you have enough distance so that your pet doesn't engage too early, and also make sure that you don't click the GCD. Now I use this GCD weak aura so I know when to cast. And finally, when in combat, the macro will cast Arcane Shot to dump focus. Now if we're dealing with multiple targets, we can hold down Alt and it'll now cast Multi-Shot. And I use this weak aura to alert me when to dump focus, and it will prioritise Black Arrow over Arcane Shot when it's off of cooldown. Okay, let's now go through combat step by step, and I'll show you exactly how to play Survival Hunter with my one button macros. The first thing we need to do is put Misdirect onto our tank. Now as I already explained, to enter combat we use the Open and Dump macro. The first press will apply Hunter's Mark and send in the pet. Now we're going to wait for the GCD, and then we're going to press it again to fire off our first explosive shot. Now wait for the GCD again, and now start spamming with the one button GSE macro. Now if you executed this opener correctly, you should have both Hunter's Mark and Serpent Sting on the target. Now if you mess up, you're going to need to apply what's missing manually. Don't worry though, once you've had a little bit of practice, you'll be nailing that opener every time. All you have to do now is spam the macro to perform your rotation. It will deal with Explosive Shot, Black Arrow, Cobra Shot and Kill Shot, so you don't have to worry about it. When dealing with multiple targets, hold down the Alt button while spamming to include Multi-Shot into the rotation, and drop Explosive Trap manually using this macro. If you're high on focus, then use the Open and Dump macro again to cast Arcane Shot, or, if Alt is also pressed, Multi-Shot instead. Another thing to note is that if you're in a situation where your target is within melee range, you're going to automatically apply Wing Clip and cast Raptor Strike with this macro. That'll just give you a little time to get away. The last macro I'll use is my all-in-one pet macro that looks like this. This macro will cast Menpet if it's alive, it will call pet if it's missing, and it will revive pet if it's dead. I use my pet management weak aura to monitor all important pet information, such as the state of health and whether or not it's active. And finally, I have weak auras to alert me about all of my aspects on the right of my screen, and Misdirect over the party frames, and all of my important cooldowns are over my unit frame. And that's all there is to know about the Survival Hunter. Once you've got it down, it really does pump. Give it a go and let me know how you get on. and I'll explain how you can get all the downloads at the end of the video. Now for Beast Mastery then. As you're probably aware, the DPS output of Beast Mastery isn't as great as that of Survival Hunters. However, I prefer to play BM when I'm doing my dailies and mooching about. It just feels better. That being said, it's not all that bad in group content, and playing with this macro will definitely give you reasonable results. Let's have a look at how it works. We're going to start by adding misdirect to the tank, just the same as we did with Survival. Remember, the one button macro will only cast Mend Pet out of combat, so we have to use the open and dump macro to apply Hunter's Mark and send in the pet. Now as soon as we're in combat and off of GCD, start spamming the one button macro. As long as we don't click the GCD, Serpent Sting will be cast onto the target, and then after that, the macro will take care of Kill Command, Cobra Shot and Kill Shot, so we don't have to worry about it. Just the same as with Survival, hold down the Alt button while spamming the macro when dealing with multiple targets. As well as including multi-shot into the rotation, it will also cast Frost Storm Breath or Burrow Attack if you have the pet for it. And remember to drop Explosive Trap manually using this macro. Again, if you're high on focus, then use the open and dump macro to cast Arcane Shot, or if Alt is pressed, multi-shot instead. And one last thing to talk about with BM Hunters is Focus Fire. Focus Fire gives a little bit of focus back to our pet, and more importantly, increases our ranged haste by 3% for each frenzy stack on our pet. I use this weak aura to let me know when it's ready, and by using this, I'm literally never without the full 15% buff on a long fight. Now, as I already said, the DPS isn't as great as Survival, but this is still a super fun and effective way of playing BM Hunter. Give it a try, and let me know how you get on. If you're still here at this point in the video, then you're probably wanting to know how to get your hands on the macros. All you need to do is join my Discord, link in the description, and follow the onboarding questions. Make sure that you select any classes that you may be interested in, as that will give you access to the applicable channels. Remember, you can always just opt to show all channels and you'll be able to see all the different classes we have to offer. Once you're in, just scroll down to the Hunter category and click on the channel you prefer. Inside, you'll find all of the macros covered in this video and an explanation on how they work. To import the macros, just click here to copy the script and then paste the script into GSE and then click Import. All you have to do then is assign the sequence a keybind in the keybinding options and you're good to go. All of my weak auras are now available to my Discord officers for free as one of their membership perks. Now, I offer memberships at a super reasonable rate, and as a reward, you have access not only to my weak auras, but also pre-release macros, UI templates, members-only live streams, and help and assistance from me should you ever need it. Now, I believe that these officer perks are super value for money, so join the Discord now and sign up as an officer. I guarantee you won't regret it. That's all for now. Enjoy your time in Azeroth, and I'll see you in the next one.